Did you all see that video that came out of Texas that's floating around the internet this morning with that solar panel farm in Damon, Texas? A hailstorm went through and destroyed it. 1,000-acre solar panel farm. Now look, we laugh at this, like what would you expect? But we're all screaming inside because a lot of us been calling out this hot garbage. I know I have. For years, when I was running for governor, that was one of my platforms. It was like, look, we need energy-dense solutions. It's nuclear, it's natural gas, it's fossil fuels, and you can throw solar and wind in there, but they can't be the solution. They can't be the 100%, this is what we're going to do. And that's what these emotional, hormonal, teenage, progressive leftists are screaming from the rooftops. They try to cancel anything else. Look, I think most of us would agree on this. Like, we want to leave this planet better than when we came into it. That just makes sense. That's what we want. We want our future generations to take root and their legacies to grow, right? We want all of our family trees to flourish for generations to come, but it has to make sense. And so what they're trying to push, and you see them all throughout the state of Michigan, are these solar panel farms, along with these wind turbines that absolutely suck huge ass, right? They're not energy dense. And then when a catastrophe like this happens, just a hailstorm, and we get several of these a year, it's going to totally knock out the grid. And another thing, they say collapse of our society would happen or start to happen within 72 hours. So what do you think is going to happen when most of our grid is so-called powered by solar panel farms and wind turbines and something like this happens? We're going to be without electricity, and society will start to go back to cavemen and women after 72 hours. That's what they're pushing. And that's why we scream, right? We're screaming inside that why can't they see this? Because we're dealing with hormonal teenage hissy fits. Because they would rather fire ready aim instead of ready aim fire. It's been proven time and time again. Just take the pandemic, the lockdown, the mandates, the boop, 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 right? All those things that common sense folks like you and I say, well, wait a minute, there's a better way that we can deal with this. Like, we don't have to lock down society. We can protect ourselves. We don't have to destroy our children's life and their athletics and put them in a mental health crisis for this. And holy cow, if you just strengthen your immune system, your body's gonna be strong enough to fight this virus also. You don't have to boop, boop the entire society, especially children. I'm not even gonna go into what the FDA just revealed. You gotta look that up because I'll get deplatformed for saying it, but it's everything that we've been saying all along. But here we are, hormonal teenage children. The progressive leftists are running the show right now. And when you stand up against this, you get canceled, you get attacked, you're a homophobic, you're a transphobic, you're a conspiracy theorist, right? All this stuff. And we're just like, no, we just want common sense. So the common sense solution, and even end of the world destroyer Bill Gates said this, is nuclear. And I ran on this as governor. I ran on this. Nuclear, natural gas, fossil fuels, and of course you can have solar and wind. Let's have an all-of-the-above approach because your plan is to put us entirely in electric by 2050, right? You're actually going to make that law that everything's got to be electric. Okay, how are we going to power it? With solar panel farms that completely get destroyed after one hailstorm. It looks like a big old giant went through there with Grandpappy's shotgun and just burst shot the entire place. Oh, that makes sense. And then society is going to start to collapse after 72 hours, but that's okay. But why does this happen? Because we have elitists. Who won during the pandemic? The elitists, the big box stores, right? They shut down mom and pop shops. Then who won with the mandates? The elitists with the big stores, right? The big box stores, and then big pharma with the boop, boop, right? They all won. Why we continue to sacrifice our way of life, our health, right? That's what you have to understand that's going on. It's the elitists. It's the few that push out a narrative to these corrupt politicians and the corporate media runs with it that brainwashes society, and it makes society, well, most of them, act like emotional, hormonal teenage children on how they act. Remember the stores? Remember how we got attacked? We didn't follow through with the mask? Remember we got attacked for walking around during the lockdowns or holding freedom festivals? Remember all that? These are the hormonal teenage children, the robots, the brainwashed. And then the few of us out there, which few becomes many, we've proven time and time again, all of you start to say, well, wait a minute, this is not right. This shouldn't happen.